Good morning, grade ones. Great to have you guys alongside me. Let's get into it as quick as possible. Today we are doing a story called Peter's Chair, and I'm going to play the story for you. I'm going to read along with you. Pay attention. Let's go to our Reading Street books, and we opening to Peter's Chair, page 162. Follow as I read along. Your title is Peter's Chair. Your genre is realistic fiction. It has make believe characters who act like real people. And your question for the week is, what treasures can we share at home? Peter stretched as high as he could. There's his tall building was finished. Crash! Down it came. Shh, called his mother. You'll have to play more quietly, remember? Peter looked into his sister Susie's room. His mother was fussing around the cradle. That's my cradle, he thought, and they painted it pink. I want you to notice the words in yellow. These are your high frequency words. Let's carry on with the story. Hi, Peter, said his father. Would you like to help paint sister's high chair? It's my high chair, whispered Peter. He saw his crib and muttered, my crib isn't painted pink too. Not far away stood his old chair. They didn't paint that yet, Peter shouted. He put it up and ran into his room. So, thus far, Dad and Mum want to take all of Peter's things and give it to his little sister. And they're painting all his stuff pink. Here's our high frequency word here, stood. Let's carry on with the story. You can see Peter taking his blue chair and running off. Let's run away, Willie, he said. Peter filled a shopping bag with cookies and dog biscuits. We'll take my blue chair, my toy crocodile, and the picture of me when I was a baby. Willie got his bone. Here's a high frequency word there, picture. They went outside and stood in front of the house. This is a good place, said Peter. He arranged his things very nicely and decided to sit in his chair for a while. But he couldn't fit into the chair. He was too big. His mother came to the window and called, won't you come back to us, Peter dear? We have something very special for lunch. Peter and Willie made believe they didn't hear, but Peter got an idea. Soon his mother saw signs that Peter was home. That rascal is hiding behind the curtain, she said happily. She moved the curtain away, but he wasn't there. Here I am, shouted Peter. He had left his shoes behind the curtain. Peter sat in a grown-up chair. His father sat next to him. Daddy, said Peter, let's paint the little chair pink for Susie. And he and his dad painted the chair pink. Wow, what a good story. That's the kind of story um, we often find ourselves in, because we are so stubborn at times to let go of the things that we have. Peter didn't want to let go of his little chair and his baby crib for his baby sister Susie. Let's get into it. Readers and Writers Notebook. I'd like you to get your books out and open to page 474. We are going to work on your high frequency words, which we've seen in the story thus far. On the top of your page, you will see the words picture, remember, room, stood, thought, and would. Let's look at number one. Now you have to choose the word from the block above and fit it in to the sentences. Remember to try and do it by yourself with the help of your mums and dads before you look at my answers, or try and do them and then check up to refer to my answers to see how good you've done. Mum took a, and we don't know what the word is, of my friends and me. So we try picture, we try remember, we try room, we try stood, we try thought, we try the word would, and we see that the word picture fits in perfectly. Mum took a picture of my friends and me. We stood by a tree. The word stood fits here perfectly. We stood by a tree. We can't have remember by a tree. We can't have we room by a tree. We thought by a tree. We would by a tree. The word thought would have fitted in, but the word stood fits in better. Number one, the picture was wonderful. I thought the picture was wonderful. Thought. Number four, I will hang the picture in my room. Yes, room. It will help me remember my friends. Say after me. Remember. Remember. Sometimes it helps to break the word up into different parts. Like this, we break it up into then member. Remember. Going to your next page, we're going to page 479. Turn with me to page 479. And we're doing a bit of grammar. We want you to match up the words with the picture. This one's easy. And we're looking at numbers. Number one, 2 cribs. 2 cribs. And we look at our picture, we see 3 people. We see 4 pictures. And we see 2 cribs. There's 2 cribs. And we join our line from 2 cribs to the picture of 2 cribs. Number 2, 4 chairs. 4 chairs. 1, 2, 3 people. 5 pictures. 2 cribs. 1 house. 1, 2, 3, 4 chairs. And here's our 4 chairs. And we join the line to 4 chairs. Number 3, 5 pictures. Here's 3 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pictures. This fits perfectly. We join the line to 5 pictures. Number 4, 3 boys. Aha, join our line right there to 3 boys. Number 5, a house, which means 1 house, and we join our line to 1 house. We're going to move along to page 486. Scroll with me to 486. And here we're looking at adjectives for how many and articles. So we're looking at numbers here. So in the block we have A, which means 1, and then we have 2, and then we have 3. And we've got pictures of a baby, a boy, and a man. There are people in this family. How many people are there? 1, 2, 3. So we write down from the block the word 3, T-H-R-E-E, 3, 3, 3. So we can strike out 3 and we're left with the word 2 and a. There are how many children? 1, 2. 2 children. We take the word from the block, we write down T-W-O, 2, 2, 2, 2. And lastly, we're left with the letter A. There is a man. For our next piece of work, write about the people in your family. Use adjectives that tell how many. All right, you can write something like this. My family has two parents. There are three boys and there is a girl. So you're going to tell me how many boys are in your family, how many girls are in your family, and how many parents you have. If you have grandparents, you may include them too. If you have a pet, you may include your pet too. Now remember, we're trying to write down numbers like 2, 3, 4, 5, and a to represent 1. We're just going to skip over to the next page, 488. 488, sorry, the page after. And here we're going to choose the correct answer. Adjectives for how many and articles. So we're looking at the words that are underlined that are numbers or that tells us how many is in the family or is in that sentence. Let's look at it. The first one is there are 10 families in the park. Here the word 10 is underlined. That is a word. So you can cross, you can tick or color in that option. Number 2, 4 brothers throw a football. Now the word underlined here is throw. This is a verb. It's not showing us how many, so we can't use this option. The next one is 4 brothers throw a football. A football is underlined and a football is a noun, so that doesn't tell us how many. Let's look at the last one. 4 brothers throw a football, and the word 4 is underlined. That tells us 1, 2, 3, 4. F-O-U-R, and that's our answer. Cross, tick, or color in that option there. Number 3, I see 3 fathers on a bench. The word fathers is underlined, and the word fathers is a noun. It is not telling us how many. The second one, I see 3 fathers on a bench. The word 3 is underlined, so that's telling us how many. So we can cross tick or color in that option. 3, T-H-R-E-E. Number 4, where are my 2 sisters? The word are is underlined. That is not telling us how many there is, so we can't choose that option. The second one is, where are my 2 sisters? The word sisters is underlined, and sisters is a noun, so it's not telling us how many as well. So we can't choose that option. And let's look at the last one. Where are my 2 sisters? The word 2 is underlined, so that tells us how many. TWO 2, and we can cross, tick, or color in that option. Number 5, 6 children play tag on the grass. The word 6 is underlined, and we can look no further. That's perfect. 6 tells us how many. We can cross, tick, or color in that option. And let's move on to number 6. There are 5 mothers with babies. The word mothers is underlined. Mothers is not a number. It is a noun. We cannot use that. So the next one is, there are 5 mothers with babies. The word 5 is underlined, F-I-V-E, and that tells us how many. So we can cross tick or color in that option. That's perfect for now. It's been great having you guys alongside me today for today's lesson. Please go back and read your story, Peter's Chair, and try and do a few sentences with the high frequency words. Remember, the high frequency words are the words that are colored in. And if you can go on to page 162, and you can see the little article there that says, I can read, and read through that and familiarize yourself with these words. Try and make a few sentences with them, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Be safe.